Hey, this is Charles Onyett with IGN Xbox, and I'm here to talk about Dead Rising. So this is Capcom's big zombie game. It's been on the horizon for a while, and it's finally out in stores, and it's a lot of fun. I had a great time playing through this game. It's basically a sandbox game. You play as Frank West, and you have to basically survive in a mall for 72 game hours, and it's about 5 real minutes per hour. So, including cutscenes and discounting any game reloads you'll have to do, it'll take about 7 hours to get through the 72-hour mode. And then after that, you unlock an overtime mode where there's even more story, and an infinite mode after that. And all the modes are pretty fun to play through. The story's surprisingly good. The zombies are a lot of fun to kill, and there are a lot of zombies in this game. Like, literally hundreds can be on screen at a time. And it's never really a direct objective to go kill a zombie, but they're more of sort of just in the way. So you have to sort of slice through them to get to the story missions. And the story missions are pretty strict. Now, it is kind of, a sandbox game, so you can go around, you can pick up lots of health items, tons of weapons, change outfits, get special power-up magazines, and mix different sort of juices in a blender that give you special powers. But most of the 72-hour mode is focused on going through these story missions, and they all happen at very specific times over the course of these 3 days. And you pretty much have to pay attention to, very strict attention to when they're happening, because if you miss one, you can't really pick up the story again, and you'll probably just want to reload your game after that. So in that sense, you don't have all that much free time to go around and check everything out, and that's sort of made it's even more difficult to see everything the first time through, just because of the save system. There's only one slot to save your game, so every time you save, whether it's in the safe room, in the security room, or any of the mall bathrooms, it's going to overwrite the same slot. So there's no real going back and reloading a past game to try something out. You can only reload that one game. So if you happen to save at a spot where you either don't have the right items to fight a boss, or you're low on health, or you're just running out of time, you pretty much have to reload the entire game, which kind of sucks at times. Luckily, Frank's personal progress, meaning not the story progress, just his level progress, like he gets new moves, he gets more life, he gets bigger inventory space as he levels up by getting prestige points, which are called PP, and those can be gained from either killing zombies and mostly through doing side quests by rescuing NPCs all over the scattered all over the mall. And that progress is saved independently of the actual story progress. So even if you have to quit out of the story mode, and you can save and exit, which cancels your story progress basically, but it'll keep your statistics for Frank, so that you start the story mode over with all these augmented abilities, making it easier to move through. And so Dead Rising is definitely a game that you need to play through multiple times to really see everything. And, that's not really such a bad thing. It's a lot of fun to do. The first time you get through, you're definitely going to want to charge through again just to see what's there. There are a few problems with the actual gameplay itself. I had some issues with the NPC AI. A lot of the side quests, you have to rescue them. And in order to rescue them, you have to bring them back to the security room, which means you need to get them to follow you to go back to the safe zone. The NPCs are pretty stupid. I don't know why, but they'll stop in the middle of the mall and start fighting zombies when you're screaming at them to follow you. And most of the time they get their faces eaten or something like that. And, then you don't get your save bonus, which is pretty substantial. You get a lot of experience for that. Sometimes the game lets you carry the NPCs on your shoulder, hold their hand, or sling them sort of over your arm. That makes it easier because it seems to discourage zombies from attacking you. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't like that. Now, you can give them health, power-ups, and weapons, but still, some of them just seem to go out of their way to make it as difficult as possible. The controls are also a little sketchy in places. Some of the melee maneuvers were a little difficult to pull off. A double lariat, like a football tackle, require you to click down on the L3 stick while hitting one of the face buttons at the same time. It's not a precise affair. And also when you're fighting a lot of the bosses tend to move around a lot faster than the zombies do, and sort of precision movements and attacks are difficult to pull off with Frank. Graphically, the game looks really good. It's really sharp, tons of enemies animated on screen. They all have great animations, and there's rarely a frame rate hitch. The sound's even better, just really crisp, And somehow, even though it's zombie brain splattering all over the place, they're accurate. And you'll actually believe, like, you know, a zombie face just flew against the wall and stuck there with a splat. But yeah, overall, you know, it's a game that's meant to be replayed a couple times. The save system isn't that great, but, you know, you're going to want to play it a number of times. And, you know, I had a lot of fun with this, and overall I think it's one of the more unique and entertaining titles on the Xbox 360 right now.